Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host, Fondue.
I'm Cheesy.
In this week's episode, we're going to be celebrating National Cheese Toast Day.
Ooh.
We're talking about cheese toast from around the world.
Whoa.
We talk grilled cheese, Jaffle,
Waffle?
Monsieur,
Ooh.
Madame,
La?
and Forestier.
What?
We also learn about Croute, Carrozza, and even the Quesadilla.
Whoa.
And of course, no episode would be complete without our very cheesy joke.
Gotta love a joke.
Stay tuned for episode 96, Toastie, on Just Cheesy, the podcast. According to nationaltoday.com, National Cheese Toast Day was September 15th.
Ooh.
And this is certainly not to be confused with Grilled Cheese Day, which is April 12th.
Oh, right.
In the United States, the terms cheese toast and grilled cheese are used relatively interchangeably.
Yeah.
The history of cheese toast goes back to 1958
Whoa.
and Del Johnson when he opened his first Sizzler restaurant.
Ooh.
We talk about that and similar sandwiches like Welsh Rarebit, Blushing Bunny, Golden Buck, and Scotch Rarebit
Yeah.
in our episode from Season 2, Episode 17.
That's right.
We've covered grilled cheese a couple of times.
Yep.
Season 1, Episode 21, and Episode 73, Cheesy Hat Trick.
Oh, yeah.
Part of what we've learned is that cheese toast is exactly that. It's cheese on toast.
Yeah.
A grilled cheese is actually not on a grill, but typically in a frying pan. It's 2 pieces of bread with cheese in the middle.
Yep.
And a cheese toastie is usually from the UK, and it's baked.
Oh, yeah.
In the US, the most common form is the grilled cheese.
Ooh, yum.
Tasting Table has an article talking about how to get the perfect grilled cheese sandwich.
Ooh.
They claim that when making a grilled cheese sandwich, it's oftentimes difficult to get the entirety of the cheese to melt.
Ooh, yeah.
They also say that Chef Luke Zahm has a solution.
Whoa.
He first puts the cheese right on the griddle.
What?
Then he begins to toast the buttered bread.
That's backwards.
I know, right? But apparently they say that they take the melted cheese and put it on the toasted bread.
Okay.
And you may have to use 2 pans because a lot of people don't have a griddle.
Yeah.
They recommend that you use medium to low heat,
Okay.
that you don't rush it, and that you pick cheeses that melt easily, such as
Sure.
cheddar, Gruyere, or pepper jack.
Makes sense.
And while there are many different types of cheese sandwiches here in the United States,
Yep.
there are tons around the world.
Really?
According to AustralianFoodTimeline.com.au, there is something called Jaffles.
Jaffles.
In 1949, there was an invention in Australia. It was called a Jaffle iron.
Whoa.
When it first came out in 1949, there was an advertisement and it was described as a pressure toaster.
Whoa.
The Jaffle iron had 2 metal plates with a wooden handle.
Okay.
They're connected by a hinge. The cakes were cooked over fire and they were flipped to cook both sides.
Oh.
It's very similar to a Belgian waffle iron.
Oh.
I'm certain you could add any ingredients,
Yeah.
but I'd like to think that cheese is the favorite.
Ooh, yeah.
Of course, France has its own type of toastie.
Of course.
According to Munchery.com, the Croque Monsieur was born in Paris
Oh, boy.
in the 1900s.
Whoa.
This sandwich includes a mix of Emmental and Gruyere cheeses.
Yummy.
They say here it's an inside-out grilled cheese.
Ooh.
The sandwich is topped with extra cheese after it's grilled.
Ooh, yum.
Time for some word butchery.
Oh, boy.
In French, the word croquer
Huh.
means to crunch.
Ooh.
And monsieur
Huh.
comes from the idea that this sandwich was designed for gentlemen.
Oh.
The croque madame is the same as a croque monsieur,
Okay.
but you add a fried egg.
Okay.
And this is because it resembles a woman's
Fondue. No. No.
hat.
Oh.
A woman's hat, cheesy.
Oh. Whew.
But there are tons of different croque sandwiches.
Really?
There's a croque forestier, which includes mushrooms.
Ooh.
The croque provinciale includes tomato.
Yum.
Croque tartiflette includes potatoes and reblochon cheese.
Ooh.
Croque bolognese includes bolognese sauce.
Sure.
Croque seigneur includes tomato salsa.
Ooh.
Croque Hawaiian adds pineapple.
Okay.
Croque gagne includes Gouda cheese and andouille.
Ooh.
And croque Norvégienne,
Oh, no.
sorry everybody,
Yeah.
includes smoked salmon instead of ham.
Ooh, yum.
The French will likely never be a sponsor,
Nope.
but if they ever are, their ad will go right here. Have you ever wanted to listen to the web?
Yeah.
Well, Newsly makes that possible.
They do?
They're an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android.
Super app.
You can listen to trending articles on the web on topics that you choose and get them read to you in a natural human voice.
What kind of topics?
Sports,
Cheese?
tech, business, science.
Cheese?
I'm sure there's even cheese.
Yay!
They even have an entire section for podcasts.
Are we there?
Of course we are.
Ooh.
It's one of my new favorite podcast apps. They even have digital radio.
Holy cow.
Just go to www.newsly.me to download it free.
Whoa.
Or use the link in the description. If you use the promo code CHEESY, that'll get you 1 month free premium subscription.
Yay, Newsly.
Now, back to the podcast. I don't know about you, Cheesy, but I find it so difficult to wrap my head around the fact that there are this many variations around bread and cheese.
Me too.
According to Savior.com, the Swiss have something called Croute au fromage.
Oh boy.
This should be fairly simple.
Okay.
It has slices of bread
Ooh.
arranged in a ceramic dish, and it's topped with cheese
Ooh.
and heated in an oven.
Yum.
It's said that this is a peasant dish. It was a way to use up stale bread and bits of cheese.
Ooh.
They say in the winter it was difficult to keep the heat consistent enough to melt raclette or fondue.
Oh,
But the clay or ceramic dishes would stay warm for a long time.
nice.
They would typically use wine or milk
Ooh.
to soften up the bread.
Yeah.
And they say here in Valais they don't mess around with it much.
Yeah.
They typically do cheese and bread. They sometimes add egg, ham, or egg and ham.
Ooh.
And they do this because they believe that you don't mess around with greatness.
Yeah.
According to CasamiaTours.com, the Italians have their own cheese toast.
They do?
It's called mozzarella in Carrozza.
Ooh.
This is another dish that's meant to use up scraps in the kitchen.
Ooh, nice.
According to the article, in the 19th century, this was a way to reuse ingredients that were no longer fresh. Day-old bread, and the last scraps of cheese from the day before.
Ooh, yum.
This almost sounds like fair food goodness to me.
Ooh.
It starts out normal
Okay.
with bread and mozzarella in the middle.
Right.
It would then be dredged in flour,
Ooh.
dipped in egg,
Oh.
coated in breadcrumbs.
Whoa.
You then take the sandwich and you fry it in oil in a frying pan.
Ooh, yum.
And when making this episode, it made me think, is a quesadilla even a sandwich?
Is it?
According to Benny'sTacos.com, they say yes, it is.
Whoa.
They go pretty far in their assertion that quesadilla is to Mexican cuisine what the grilled cheese is to American cuisine.
Wow.
It's simply melted cheese between 1 or 2 pieces of bread or wrap.
Oh, yeah?
The article says that the state of California has considered a hot dog a sandwich,
Holy cow.
but they have nothing on a quesadilla.
Really?
New York, however, does state that a sandwich is anything made on bread, bagels, rolls, in pitas, wraps, or otherwise.
Oh, wow.
And this is regardless of the filling or number of layers.
Wow.
So not only is a quesadilla considered a sandwich,
Yeah.
but a quesadilla filled with cheese could be considered a grilled cheese sandwich.
Holy cow.
In our show notes, we've included another website called toastielab.com.
Yeah.
In it, they include quite a few other sandwiches.
Ooh.
We didn't discuss them all because a lot of them add additional ingredients to the cheese.
Ooh.
They talk about barros, jarpa,
Oh, no.
and Cuban sandwiches,
Ooh.
grilled cottage cheese or grilled paneer,
Ooh, yum.
French anesina.
Oh, no.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
The hot brown.
Yum.
They talk about the melt, the Monte Cristo, the tripletta, and others.
Ooh.
The article goes on to talk about quite a few other sandwiches that could be considered toasties.
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
Okay, what is a grilled cheese's favorite part of a wedding?
I have no idea.
Making a toast.
That was goofy.
That's right, it was goofy and a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, episode
you.
96, Toastie.
Toastie.
Please share with us your favorite cheese on toast recipes.
Yes, please.
Feel free to leave us an email at info.justcheesy.com.
Stay cheesy, everybody.